I want to become a top player in Nock. And while there's amazing community members that'll help you, there's amazing community as a whole, there is not a lot of resources on how to go from being a like kind of intermediate player, you know, top 100, top 150, to being a top 10, top 15 level player. So I'm taking this chance to talk to 4 top 10 players currently to ask, hey, how do you do it? What are specifics that we can get into? And so we're going to talk about blocks with ads. We're going to talk about speed with angle. We're going to talk about strategy with YoungCaliman and how to be better in the air with BChaseM. I hope that this is really beneficial to you. And let me know if you have any questions for some of these top players. I can do a round 2. Let's get to it.
Cool.
Oh, dude, if I had just hit that last block, I could have beat Reckless. Dang. Whoa. Whoa, who's that? Yo, is that ads? The ads back there? Yo, he's going crazy. Ads, can you teach me how to be better with blocks?
Yeah.
Dude, awesome. Well, let's go. So, first question to you, what do you attribute your like precision to blocks? Like what like practice? Was it in-game practice? What did you do to get so good with them?
Yeah, it was a lot of queuing, and then it went in like the little practice arena. No, you can enter practice. Yeah, I just did a lot of blocks in between games, but so that, and also just playing. I've played the game so much, you know. So
absolutely.
a lot of this does come with playing the game, you know.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
What do you do in the practice room? Like you go in the practice room, like the black void area that you can go to inside the social part. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like back and forth, side to side?
Just blasting the ball and just jumping in the air, getting used to the point slide where the 3-packs are, getting used to your jumps. And either like even if it's going in my goal or my opponent's goal, I'm just blasting the block around, you know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, I could show you if you want now.
Yeah, let's see it. Just always going after the blocks as much as possible.
Pretty much, yeah. Times like that, I'll try and like send it back.
What are you doing when you're attacking blocks? It's a lot of people use blocks almost exclusively defensively.
Yeah.
Do you like how do you use it defensively? I think the only one people really use is like they try to serpentine it a little bit, like kind of side to side. Other than that, like how are you using blocks offensively?
A lot of the time, just trying to get weird angles. Like if I try and hit it from like you know. But I will say, I maybe like I'm in the habit of using blocks, so at some points, like I need to calm down using blocks, like as well as it, like when I'm pushing at least, you know. But I would say like there's a few things I do really like offensively. Like I'm like if you're comfortable with blocks, you can kind of like send it around like that kind of thing, you know. You can get in weird positions.
Do you feel like it enables you to go up in the air a little bit?
Yeah, it does, but I've still got to be you got to be careful where you jump. You've got to be around these 3-packs for sure, like.
Yeah.
But especially up at the corners, like, it's risky, but if you get comfortable with blocks, you can kind of like bait your opponent out more. And then as the ball's moving, like, say like that, you could like send it back like that, you know?
Yep. No, that makes sense.
I do a lot of baiting, yeah. A lot of mind games, you know.
For baiting, are you sometimes like hitting the ball and then waiting a little bit to hope that they're gonna like try to like essentially get nervous, try to clear it, and then use their clear against them?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I do that a lot, and I also get up in the corners just because I know it's such a bad positioning. You know, people are going to push, you know. So if you're up in the corner and you're comfortable with the blocks, then you can. But you've just got to be really careful, you know. You play like top players; they're gonna like that's not gonna work most of the time, you know.
Yeah, I was talking to ItCat, and he was like, "Yeah, a lot of the like you'll see a lot of the top players are up in the air quite a bit, like more than an average person. But that's because they feel so comfortable with blocks that they can make the comeback, make the defense, even if they're not in front of the ball like this right now."
Yeah, so as far as offensively, I do a lot of baiting, like a lot of the time the ball will be moving like this, and I'm letting it move because my opponent's coming. I'll even sometimes let it get to this point and then blast it around like that, you know. I miss that, but you know what I mean? So I do a lot of that. A lot of like, you can throw it in front of your opponent, you know, like throw it like there to block you. and then send it around like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense.
So it's kind of like pushing it, you know? Even if you go the wrong way, kind of just make it work, you know?
Well, one question that I've always had, and I think a lot of people have, because it's a mechanic in the game, but very few people actually use it, is the orientation of the block. So if I shoot it with my my bow straight up, it kind of like just goes straight up. But if I do it angled, then my block's different. Do you ever think about the angle of your block, and what scenarios do you think about it?
I don't think about it, but I do think about it in the way that I play. Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, say if I'm here with the balls there, I'm not gonna like fire it straight like that. I'm gonna kind of like go to my left hip and kind of drop it like that, you know?
Got it. So you can get the corner over here?
Yeah, kind of like if like you're catching a ball, do you know? Like,
yeah.
Like if the ball's moving up here, I'm kind of like as if I would be to catch it, but you're throwing the block, do you know?
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, like a lot of it is just like if your hand's already in the position, then you don't have to think about it, but you are making a conscious play by doing that. If that makes sense.
No,
so I do that a lot, you know.
Absolutely. Well, so if you're going against, so your play style can be very different than other people's play styles. One of the prevalent play styles is, especially among like the younger demographic, they're gonna go full on, like they're gonna go as fast as they can, smack it around as fast as they can. If you're going against someone like that, what changes in your game plan if you're going against someone whose goal is to overwhelm at all times? Is that more blocks, less blocks?
It depends. It really depends. I would say you would definitely have to think about doing less blocks, just so you don't end up blocking yourself. That's a bad position, you know. And like, that is the risk of doing a lot of blocks. You don't want to block yourself, but at the same time, you can see if someone's hitting the ball. See, like Angle does it a lot, where he's hitting the ball a lot. You can kind of like wait it out, and they're getting into a certain rhythm. And like, if you kind of like, you can. Sometimes when people are just hitting the ball like that, they kind of push themselves into a position where they're just hitting the ball. And then that point, that's when you can kind of like put one behind it and kind of like send it back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes exact sense. Well, sweet, dude. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the breakdown of everything. I guess one question I'm asking everybody is if you were in my position, so I'm like right now in like rankings and pre-rank, I was around like top 70, top 80 for like ones. What would be your suggestion for getting better at Nock in general? Like if you had to give me a couple of pro tips.
I would say just get more used to it. Like I didn't explain it that well, but just get more used to like putting your body in the position where your hands are going to be, where the block will rotate. Try and get used to throwing it just over the ball, just under the ball, depending on what circumstances. See how you can just get comfortable with like the different positions of moving the ball and what side you want to put the ball on. If you want to put it on your opponent's side to block the arrows, or if you want to put it on their side or your side, so the ball hits the block and keeps you pushing, you know. So so basically just get more comfortable with blocks.
No, absolutely. Just keep using them. Just keep using them and get your muscle memory locked in.
And try and just that is an important thing, like the positions, you know. See if the ball's coming up here, I'm leaning over like that, you know. Like the more comfortable you get with the ball, the less you even have to look. If the ball crosses over, you kind of like sense it, you know. And it's behind it, especially if you use that ring, the green ring thing. That helps a lot with block, like, so you can sense where the ball is a bit, you know. One last thing I was going to say, as far as not regarding blocks, getting into like moving up, is trying to find the time to use the blocks right, which I've done blocks so much that like the muscle memory I'm finding it hard to break out of. Like doing a block every single time, you know. Try and like, you want to get more, you want to push more and then use the blocks more sparingly than what I use, you know? Really, like probably like 75% arrows, 25% blocks. That's what I would say.
Got it. So just becoming more intentional with where the blocks are going versus like just kind of tossing the blocks every now and then.
Pretty much, because like I do this a lot. Like I'll end up like pinning my goal and I'm just throwing blocks, and it's just a
Mhm.
bad position to be in. Like when really I should just be trying to hit the ball and not doing a block just to push it out, because
That makes
obviously
sense.
like every block you're doing, it's a slower pace of game, like. So, like, minus the thought of doing a block and you're just doing an arrow, think that them few milliseconds make a big difference,
No, absolutely. And I've hit that a lot of times where like where someone's banging it up top, and then it just like
Yeah.
launches down one of my blocks I put up there, and it puts me in a really bad position
Yeah.
to
Times
make
like
the
that, you want to
defense.
just, you want to be getting that push. You want to just be getting the ball out and then start
Hmm.
thinking about your blocks again, yeah.
Oh, hey, Squashy, want to race?
Whoa, what's up, Angle? You want to race? Where are we racing to?
Just do a lap around the center.
A lap around the hole? All right.
Yep.
Ready, set, go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Oh my gosh, so fast. I went the wrong way. He's so fast. Angle.
Gotta catch up.
Oh my lord, I should have gone to the gym today. Ah! I can't make the angle. I can't make the corner. Oh, Angle, how did you do that? Can you teach me?
Yeah, I can teach you.
All right, well, let's go.
Okay, you know the umbrella pose, right? How you shoot
I
like
do.
this?
I do.
You do. Cool. Okay, flicking your wrist to make you shoot faster?
I haven't really done that too much, so I'm down to here.
Yeah. So you're on quest 3?
I'm on quest 3.
So if you flick your wrist, if you see it, it'll kind of like throw it back for a second.
Yeah.
You kind of have to flick it like kind of hard, but when you're shooting, you can kind of flick your wrist a bit to get that last little extra speed so that you don't have to pull your arms back
interesting.
as far. And then at the same time, while you're doing that, you want to move your left hand as well. So you're constantly kind of moving both arms at the same time. And that's relatively how you get the most speed out of it.
Gotcha.
And if you want to move while you're doing that, then as you're bringing your left arm back, you can kind of move at the same time. So you're just going like that. And then, so go ahead and just like shoot at the ball for like a couple minutes, like not a couple minutes, but like a couple seconds, just as fast as you can.
As fast as I can. All right, I'm going to try.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if you miss, but just keep shooting at it.
I'm going to get arrows.
A lot of with speed is accuracy at the same time, but it is good to just kind of shoot it around for a bit. Nice blocks. You can also block spam, by the way. Just because some people don't like it doesn't mean it's against the rules of the game or anything.
No, absolutely. And I do block spam, actually. I was just trying to, I was trying to not do it for this, try to get the speed going.
Yeah, no, I know.
Ooh.
I was just saying, because I know a lot of people are like, oh no, it's bad. Yeah, all right. So can you just like pull your bow back how you normally would for me real quick?
Yep.
Okay, so you are using clip, which shoots a bit lower than most normal bows for some reason.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to try, you can lower your wrist a bit when you go to pull back like this, so that you get a more accurate shot when you do pull it back. So you kind of like curve your wrist down a tad bit.
Yeah.
I actually learned that from a CaliMan video.
So wait, when you say it shoots lower, if I like line up like a regular bow and arrow, it's shooting lower than you would expect it to?
Yes.
Oh, it's always shot differently than the other bows. Is the reason why I never changed too much, but I didn't know what it was.
There's 2 bows in the game that that do that, and it's clip and sail. No, I don't know why it does that. Yeah,
no idea.
But I would suggest one of these. But if it's better for you, you can.
I like.
And you can also.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, you can change the way you pull it back, so you don't have to pull it back like this. You can pull it back kind of straight if you want to. It all comes down to personal preference. So I would suggest just kind of like whenever you are playing competitive, just kind of play with the ball. Don't necessarily try to score. Like you can score if you want to win, but I use competitive for training for the most part.
Yeah.
I'll go in and I'll just end up playing with the ball around the net a whole bunch. And just kind of practicing like blocks and accuracy when I do that.
Gotcha.
What you want to do when you're doing that is just kind of choose a point. So say you want to shoot it into like the bar right here.
Yeah.
This is good for accuracy. You just want to shoot it into the bar and keep doing that over and over again so that you can get used to shooting it where you really want the ball to go.
So like you're generally wanting to try to make the ball hit right here. If you're like whatever you're thinking of, wherever you want to. So maybe right here or whatever.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can gradually increase your speed in doing that in matches. You can also do it with bots in the practice arena. It's all mostly just personal preference to most people. I do it in competitive, but I've seen people do it in practice arena, in the social park with shooting into like holes and stuff. I wouldn't suggest the social park as a training area because the physics they are different. Yeah, and a lot of the hits don't register for some reason. Like you can shoot the very corner of it.
Yeah,
and it'll just choose not to register. That's one of the reasons I don't like levels.
Well, so now one of the things that I think comes with speed is also you don't want to hit everything at the exact same pace because then you're really readable. So like where do you find differences in pace to be really effective?
So whenever I'm going for a push, I will shoot relatively fast, but I will also change my rhythm. So I'll shoot and then I'll slow it down for a second and then I'll shoot and then slow it down. That's what I do when I go for a push, and it messes up a lot of people. When I'm in the corner, I will shoot slowly to watch what the other person is doing.
Gotcha.
So say they're wanting to push it back into the corner, then I'll kind of slow myself down and fall back a bit. And then I'll take advantage of when they're pushing in their rhythm to push it straight into their net. Because right around here, you have a better vantage angle with the net. But if you're over here, you have much less net to score on.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I'll always try and take advantage of the other person trying to get an advantage over me.
So you have one kind of drill that you can do while you're in a competitive match, which is like focus on a line or like an area that you want to try to keep the ball at. Is there any other things that you really focus on to increase your speed or like properly like do the rhythm that you want to do whenever you're playing in comp?
So I will sit at the halfway point and I'll just keep it on their side of the court while constantly kind of changing what I'm doing in my head. I'll change like my rhythm. I'll change not necessarily the way I'm shooting, but I'll change like the Y level I'm at. So I'll go up in the air. And I'm really just experimenting with a lot of different play styles until I catch one that I think works good for me.
I like it. And it can be dependent based on the person you're playing.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Like if I'm playing against like BChase, then I'm going to want to sit back on defense because he overcommits a lot. Then I can push it into the corner and take it to his side of the court, and he's still over here. If I'm playing Reckless, I'll want to keep it on his side because his defense is weaker than his offense.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, those are just two examples.
Sweet. Well, if you had anything like just doesn't have to be speed related, but do you have anything specifically for someone in my caliber around like that, like top, like right hovering at the top 50 mark, trying to break into like top 20, top 15 area? What are the biggest improvements that you see, not from me, but just like in general for people trying to get past that barrier?
So I think only two people I've seen really do it, and it's me and GTZ. We both ended up practicing our accuracy and our blocks a lot, like a whole lot.
Yeah. And was that primarily in practice mode, or is that just playing comp matches?
I'm not too sure what GTZ did for his. Yeah. But for me, I would go into practice because this is before a social park. Yeah. So you would just queue and then go into the practice arena. I would bring it up the wall just like this and then kind of shoot it at an arc and block it just like that. And I would do that for like hours upon hours at a day. Gotcha. And I improved really fast. Yeah. There's a video of Tal explaining it where he does a much better job.
Okay. Understood. So, all right. That's a really nice. I haven't seen that one before. So that's really useful.
It helps you. Well. Yeah. It helps with your accuracy and your blocks at the same time. And it also helps you tell where to place your block. Because say you're below, you want to usually shoot below the ball. But if you're up above it, then you can shoot kind of either way. But I would say like up above and then block it. Another thing is probably block angles. I'm pretty sure I don't think there's a way to change it. So it's just your bow hand to change the angle of the block. But what I did to practice that was I would just, it's easiest to do it with like a second person. I would go into like a training like this with you and me, and then I would just shoot it across their goal while they're defending it, and then I would try and bring it back in front of their goal.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that helps kind of practice your angles with your blocks.
So how often? So at this point, is it very natural for you to just change the angle based on situations?
Yeah, it's very natural for me. I can say it's up in the corner. I can bring it back to myself or bring it over there. I don't even realize that I'm doing it anymore, but I just do it.
Yeah. Okay. That's sweet. That's actually really important because I don't think many people think about the block change angle. They just kind of put down a block in that area.
Yeah. They're just kind of, I see ads do it a lot. Ads would be like number one if he could control his block angles a bit more.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, we're going to talk to him about blocks as well.
That's good. That's good.
Well, perfect. Angle, you are always awesome at training. Where can we find you if I wanted to get better?
Tuesday training or Nock Global League.
Woo! And Tuesday trainings in the Nock Discord. Nock Global League is your own Discord, which you can find a link to in the Nock Discord as well.
Yes, discord.gg/NockGame.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't get the click.
Oh, I got it from my end.
Woo!
There we go.
Man, dude, another 7-0 from Towley?
Right, left, down.
Oh, Cali, man. Hey, Cali man. Cali man.
What's up?
Hey. You know, I was just playing Towley, and I honestly had no idea what to do. You're like a strategic mastermind. Can you help me?
Of course. I know, he's a Towel. It's hard.
It's really hard. He really soaks in all the knowledge. But I'm going to try to be as Towel-like as him. So let's go.
All right.
Woo! So, really, we're talking to YoungCaliman because he's a strategic expert. You've been with the game for a long time. And so, really, what I wanted to find out is there's a lot of play styles out there. How do you approach each play style that you see among the player base of Nock?
So what I do is I don't approach play styles per se. Yeah. So what I do is, like, I'll know when I get into a match with an opponent that I've played with multiple times what their play style is, but I don't really do much adjusting. I just play my play style, and then about halfway through the game, I'll decide if I need to adjust anything.
Gotcha.
But usually I don't need to. So against different play styles, not really doing much adjusting, to be honest. I'm gonna play my game confidently.
Got it. In general, so since you're not changing what you're doing per play style, what is your like ideal positioning when you're pushing forward, and what's your ideal positioning whenever you're trying to defend?
Oh yeah. So it's actually the same for both. Ironically enough.
Oh, so perfect. Okay.
So one of the main things I'm trying to do more often now is imagine the half court line is your goal. So you cannot let the ball score in your goal, which is the half court line.
Gotcha.
Your goal is not even the goal anymore. So when I'm pushing up or defending, my goal is to cut you off as often as possible. So if you're pushing up and the ball crosses half court line, I can pretty much think to myself the ball is scored in most scenarios, unless I'm resetting or readjusting, which I don't care if you push it at that point. But when I'm in aggressive mode, I do not want the ball crossing the half court, or at least too far past the half court.
Got it. Okay.
So my play style is I try to, when they're pushing the ball out, my goal is to shoot the arrow at the ball in the position that will prevent them from clearing in the only way they can. So if they're driving down this way, I'm going to cut off their angle by shooting at the right side of the ball. Because their habit is going to be to try to drive it down the wall at that point. If they're sitting over there trying to clear, they're not going to clear down the middle in those cases. They're going to clear down the side. So I'm going to try to cut them off and shoot shots in succession to do that. So the way I play offense and defense is just thinking about this half court line as my goal. Unless I have to reset, collect arrows, and then I'll push back up.
Gotcha.
That's kind of my mindset.
What is your? Do you have a preference as far as positioning? So let's say you're pushing up, right? You get control of the ball somewhere over here. You push forward. How do you approach getting the ball in front of the goal, right? Because at some point you have to recenter it to get in front of the goal, and you can recenter up here in the middle. You can recenter halfway. You can recenter just by like looping it around. What's your ideal path from ball control to the goal?
For me, I don't think about the path as much.
Yeah.
I think about where my opponent is. So I'm watching my opponent just as much as I'm watching the ball and where I'm driving my path. So if I'm driving down the right-hand side, but my opponent's stuck in the goal, they're not moving out of it, then I probably will continue to drive it down the right side because I know their only option at this point, if they're sitting in the goal, is to shoot it this way. So I'm going to drive it down and just try to win the battle at that point. It's not really about getting it to the goal. It's about maintaining possession for me. I don't care if I don't have one shot on goal the entire time. If I can just maintain possession longer than they can, I'm going to have a better chance of winning.
Got it.
Because naturally the ball will likely go in if they make a mistake or it takes a good ricochet. So I find that I play worse if I'm actively looking to score. I play better if I'm just actively maintaining possession of the ball. Yeah, that's what I look for more than just actively trying to score or position it a certain way.
So with that, do you feel like you excel more at ones or twos versus the other?
Right now, I think I excel more at ones. I haven't been doing that much twos lately. I used to be a lot better at twos, but I like the fast-paced nature of ones, and I'm trying to get faster, and it's easier to do that in ones. So I personally like ones more than twos.
So if you're giving someone advice for ones and they're like starting out brand new, what's the number one advice you would say?
I would give 3 key pieces of advice. One of them is always choose a path that you can collect arrows easily. So always kind of run towards arrows with your peripheral vision, because if you're trying to get better, you're probably going to end up losing a lot of arrows at the beginning if you're trying to get faster. So just route your paths to collect arrows. The other one is always have a bow ready or arrow ready and nocked. So as soon as you shoot, no matter what you're doing, you're immediately knocking again.
Holding it in. Okay.
Yeah, and that's something I feel like a lot of people forget to do. Like I am constantly, no matter where I am constantly just picking one up immediately after I shoot. It doesn't matter what I'm doing or where I'm at. If I'm moving back, I'm still knocking. So that's one of them.
All right. Well, sweet.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Did you have anything else?
Those are the 2 main ones. But then the other one is just anticipating what my opponent can do based on what the real estate is. So if you're watching where your opponent is, you're going to know based on where you are, they are, and where the ball is. You can form a triangle path and know just based on that what their likely action is going to be next, because they're only going to have so many areas they can shoot the ball at. So I try to cut them off at the area I think they're going to go, not where the ball is. And that's kind of what I think about.
Perfect. Well, sweet. Well, I guess the big question I'm asking everybody, if you're in my position, right, I'm like top 60, 80 player, goal is to come in and try to break into like that top 15, top 20. Do you have any other suggestion outside of like the new that you would suggest to me as someone intermediate trying to get better?
Yeah, number one thing, get fast. You got to be fast. So that's why always thinking about knocking a bow or knocking an arrow.
Yeah.
I don't even care if you're constantly missing, you're constantly have to go get arrows. You're constantly just knocking your next one. That's one of the most important things. And then learn from what I do wrong most of the time. I have 2 real weaknesses. One of them is I get lazy with position sometimes. So I'll let the ball stay above me too much, and then it's hard for me to get back. And then if you're on defense here, I struggle if the ball is in the corner here. I cannot clear it out of corners. So if you can, try to prevent balls from getting into this corner or above your goal. So you're trying to cut off opponents from doing that as much as possible. It'll just make it feel so much smoother. But
what have you found is better for the position where it's like above you and you're struggling? What have you found that's been successful in like getting it out from above you?
It's actually pretty bad to stay in this half circle. Like when I get scored on the most, it's because I'm here. A lot of people think this is where you want to be if you defend. I want to stay around my goal, but don't be afraid just to do this and get it to the side. Combat where they're trying to shoot it at, or on this side, if they're where you are right now, I'm going to go here and hit the ball towards my side and keep driving it down. But don't just try to go like this I do that sometimes, and that's how I get scored on the most
Interesting.
when I'm stuck there. So think about this area as like a danger zone in here. You kind of want to be out of that most of the times.
Awesome.
because it keeps you off some
That's totally new advice. I've never heard that, and I really like it, and I'm gonna try it. 100%.
I mean, it depends what you're good at. I'm not good when the ball is up high like this for me. So
yeah, I'm awful at it. I'm
tend to
terrible
struggle.
at it.
Yeah, I struggle at that. People take advantage of me with that, and in the corners. don't let it happen.
Don't let it
It's
happen.
horrible. Yeah.
Well, is there anything else? That's pretty much everything I wanted to ask. Anything you wanted to add from a strategic Nock perspective?
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
Oh man, I don't know if I can get down from here. It's really high.
Yo, I'm here.
Yo, BChase, can you help me get
You need
down?
any help? I got you, bro. Here,
Appreciate-
come.
Oh, all right, where are we going?
Here, this way. Ah!
Jump! Whee! All right, BChase, I brought you in here for one reason and one reason only. How in the world are you so good at being in the air?
When I started the game, I used to just start on the ground, you know, start from the basic, you know, just hitting the ground.
Yeah.
Then I started to realize that if you just hit up on the wall, it pops up like that. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Why not? I just go like that, and then just pop off there, and then just shoot at the goal. So then I started doing that a bunch, and then I used to just start just going up in the air, like every day. I used to just like do 15 minutes of just going up in the air and just trying to do something really cool, like go up in the air and try to hit like a double tap or something, and try to hit the goal.
And are you doing that in matches, in practice, or both?
So basically, like last year, when I was like really good at the game, I used to just practice like what I would do in a game, and then after that, I would run some casual and just try to do that on some people, and then after that, I would run some ranked, and then just try to go for some insane shots.
What do you think people do wrong in the air more often than not?
They're like really slow in the air. Like
Yes, everyone, including myself, is super slow in the air outside of the top few.
So basically, they're gonna shoot on the goal.
Mm-hmm.
But then, say like it doesn't work out, and someone starts going back, like and starts hitting it at their net. They're gonna be in the air, and thinking, "Oh shoot, what do I do? It's going towards my net."
Mm-hmm.
They just like start retreating. They have like no arrows.
Mm-hmm.
They can't block anything, and then it just goes into their net. What I do is, if it's going and say I don't get the ball, and it's going like this, and I'm over here, and I don't have anything, I'll just quickly hit the ball to the side.
Yep.
Grab a thing, and then just try to defend.
Gotcha. And then, is there any spots in the court that you choose not to go up in the air, or do you pretty much your air is everywhere? You're good going there.
Just the goal, like
Just like
basically.
right.
Yeah,
Like when you're defending, or when you're shooting, when you're on offense.
Yeah, defensively, right here.
Defensively, just stay on the ground.
Like in this circle right here.
Yeah.
Never go here, because if you're in the air and then say you clear it, but you're still in the air here,
Yeah.
you have to like do all that to get over there. But like say you're on the ground, you can push to the side, and then you can get all this momentum here, because if you're in the air here, you have to like
you lose all momentum.
Like it takes you a little bit to get down, and then you can start going. But by then, they all have the bar. They already have the ball, and then you can just simply take the ball, and then they can score on you.
Do you think there's any skills that are required before someone like starts doing a style like yours, like positioning themselves on the wall, or like they need to be really good with blocks to be able to be defensive from back there?
I feel like just blocks. Like I feel like if you're like an attacking player in the air, like move your opponent around in the air, because like if I'm in the air and I like just start shooting it at the goal, they're just gonna save it. So like So
You
like
have
you
to
have
get
to
it
block.
around them.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to like block it. Try to move them around in the air. So like you go up on the wall.
Yeah.
They start shooting it, and they have to block it like that. Like move them a little bit, so then you can get them off balance to score a goal.
Got it. All right. Well, sick.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's perfect. Do you have any other thoughts on like air play style that you want to say?
Not really. I just feel like getting like the fundamentals down, like getting the basics down,
Yeah.
is like just the way to start. Then you can try to get a play style that's good for you.
Got it. That makes sense. All right. Well, I'm asking
Yeah.
everybody this. If you
Yeah.
were like right now, I'm on kind of like the precipice of like before the reset, top 60, top 70 ones player. Going trying to get that to like top 20-ish. What are your suggestions just in general for getting better at the game?
So like not the air stuff, just like
Yeah, not
regular
the
game.
just general, like all around.
Like mostly your game sense. Like there's like a bunch of ways to play the game. Like you know, like you can be in the air like me. You can be on the ground. You could be an aggressive player. You can be a defensive player. Like there's like so much you could do, but like I would just recommend just trying to just practice every day. Trying to do stuff that you wouldn't usually do in a game. Trying to just learn new stuff, and yeah, just play the game.
Awesome. Thanks, BChase. I appreciate it. You'll hit me with the high five. The high five.
Yeah, I got you. Oh,
what a shot. Oh, did yours not register? I hate when they don't register both.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there we go.
Honestly, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for your time, and I hope that this was super interesting to you or useful to you in becoming a better Nock player. This video is being made possible by the people who have started becoming members on the channel, so if you are at all interested, it's $2 a month, and it's just right below this video. But otherwise, a view, a like, a comment is always, always the most helpful you can be. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.